on like what, 16%? That's crazy, right? It said nigga living a crazy life. Snatch gang. This shit is hurting me. It should be hurting me. I gotta get some people in here before I snap. Not really, I'm popping my shit. Gotta go against the odds, break them down, chip split. Niggas wanna be cool for farmer. I'm in big wigs, matter of fact, they not even that. Niggas popping shit like they really not. Us, everything against me. Nigga, building, nigga, watch from Deva. Getting this money, we can raindrop. Let's get this money and leave it. To all the fucking haters. Beat for Jesus. Call history, delete that. Mindset, repeat that. Niggas be talking the gravy shit, I don't clear that. I don't care about what you talking about. Niggas minding my business, I don't walk it out like that, nigga. I'm that nigga. Niggas was hating because of what? I'm living rent free in your head. Get that bread, motherfucker. Mother sucker. Fuck your mother. Motherfucker. Fuck your mother. Niggas strip. Niggas bitch. Niggas told. Niggas plotted. Them niggas done one war. Them niggas shot it. I know they get high. I know they get high. Thinking that they flyer than me like why like tales of a fairy tale. You niggas fairy tales, Glock with a hairy beam. You niggas hairy scheming, beaming, dreaming, leaning, fiending, thinking about what you done to me, what you done to yourself. What you done to yourself? Got to be, I'm sorry, I didn't touch the sky, bro.
I've marshaled a new
When you have a child named Brian McKnight Jr., and then you fall out with them, have a new baby, name him Brian McKnight with a different middle name, and then legally change your name to the new kid's name, you try to start back at one with your kids? Don't act like you better than us. You're not. You worse than us.
All right, y'all better listen for the interview?
Antoine Donaldson, Antoine Jameson, whatever his name is. No, I don't know him.
Anton.
He's saying that I think I'm smarter than everybody. I'm smarter than him. I literally don't know. I don't have a beef. I don't know who he is. I don't even know his name. Look, I could Google it, but like, for what? Like, I'm not. Brian McKnight deserves our attention. He's a star. He's a celebrity. He's a genius. And we engaged him. I didn't engage the homeboy, so salute to him. I hope his platform does well. Wish him nothing but the best.
What's good, Elevators? It's your boy Elevation here with another episode of the JBP Elevated, where we speak on the Joe Budden podcast and all of his co-hosts on and off the pod. Well, we already knew that Mark was going to have to respond to Brian McKnight and Anton Daniels, and I hope Mark was paying attention to the whole time he was going off on his soliloquy, because Joe was giving him subtle signs that he fucks with both of them. Brian McKnight, not so much. I don't want you to come see him that way. But Anton Daniels, notice every time Mark took a shot at Anton by mispronouncing his name and speaking on how little
Joe said what?
His platform is because he doesn't know him. Joe corrected him. He showed his name's not Antoine, it's Anton. Yeah, he has a huge platform. And I know this because I gave him the intro. I don't intro niggas. It could have been Brian McKnight on Orando's podcast. He would not have mentioned their name. He would have just said, Brian McKnight is on a podcast. So Joe was letting Mark know, hey, I actually kind of rock with Buddy. And quiet as kept because I watch Anton Daniels too. He's a fan of Joe. Notice every time he speaks on Joe, he doesn't say anything negative about Joe. He respects Joe, which is why I said what I said last video speaking on this. When he talks about success, he's solely talking about what he sees you doing on social media. It's weird, I get it, But that's how he views this shit. So he's looking at Joe the same way Joe's looking at Anton. But Mark, this is the funny part. The real smoke is from Brian McKnight, supposedly. And he's, quote unquote, the bigger name. So this is what gravitated us to this conversation. But Mark spent most of his time shooting at Anton.
Ready?
He was more
7 o'clock.
aggressive with Brian McKnight because he has personal experiences with him. I didn't know they did interviews. But he was shooting his real shots at Anton, which is why he was mispronouncing his name, which is why he's saying he never heard of him. And because JBP is going to go viral for this, and shout out to Mark, I don't give him enough credit. Mark goes viral a lot. So he's doing what he needs to do on this podcast. But because he went viral, Anton is absolutely going to speak on this. He's not shying away from this at all. And it would be dope to see what happens going forward from this altercation, because that's what it was. Anton did not need to speak on Mark. Let me be clear about this. Mark is not in the wrong. So what? He called Brian an asshole. And so what to Brian's response? I would kill you in a debate solely because you're calling me an asshole and you don't know who I am. Although that is kind of great now because they did the interview, so at least they've had interactions with each other. But Mark's real antipathy was for Anton. Who the fuck are you? And let's be clear, guys. Let's be 100% clear. Mark knows exactly who Anton Daniels is. Let's be clear. He was shooting at Anton because Anton's the one that was taking the real shots. Notice Brian McKnight didn't say anything about Mark's intelligence. Let's just say that. It was Anton that did that. He was the one calling out Mark. He was the one saying Mark was fake. Brian was just defending his name. So now this situation is going to go from being about Brian McKnight to Anton Daniels and MLH. And Joe is just sitting in the back, happy as could be.
Airwick scented oils keeps your space fragrant for up to 70 days. Airwick, always fragrant, always inviting. This is Buick, now. Buick, exceptional by design.
Get 0.9% APR on these 2025 Buick models. Plus, current eligible non-GM owners get up to $3,000 allowance on Encore GX.
Now play.
My name's Sarah.
You can call me Bert. A girl's ambition.
I gotta own my land.
It's a sign.
I believe in science.
A corporation's greed.
I don't trust anything you say. You got eyes like a sneaky pig.
Experience an inspiring story
They might have the money, but we have the dignity.
for the whole family.
I'll give you $20 an acre.
I ain't selling.
What's up, y'all?
And because I know what Mark's going to bring to the table, I know he's going to speak on it. So this is just giving us more content. My only take, because let's be clear, the person that was the most wrong in this whole altercation, even though I follow him, was Anton. He didn't need to say anything that he said about Mark in order to make Brian feel more comfortable. Brian could have got his shit off. Anton could have been like, I respect Mark Lamont Hill, but there's some things that I don't agree with, and kept it pushing. But he decided to call him a fake intellectual. And he didn't say the word fake, but he did intellectual in quotations and then continued to speak on why he doesn't think Mark is such. So we have to start looking at all of these things. But this is going to be a great dynamic for the next 2 weeks because once again, Anton will respond. And he might have already responded. And I just haven't checked his page yet because it's early in the morning. But guys, Mark is doing his job on the JVP and he's doing it well, and I haven't given him enough credit. Shout out to continuing to go viral. Shout out to getting all the other platforms to start looking at the Joe Budden platform for how serious it actually is. Niggas is getting to it. But this is going to make for great debate because now Mark is expanding his horizons. I apologize. And I'm going to be looking forward to seeing what he has to say about this in as frankful as a tone and candidly as possible on his Patreon. He's going to speak about this on Patreon. Mark is playing the game. He's playing the game. He's going to play it well. Because early on, I was comparing Mark's Patreon to Imani's Patreon because of how consistent Imani's Patreon has been and how high it started off, and he's kind of kept that same momentum. Well, Mark started off slow, and now all of his posts are gaining the traction. So as far as the trajectory is concerned, Mark is still Mark Lamont Hill, and he's figuring this whole content shit out. Because I was calling out Mark for speaking on the JVP on his Patreon, and that's how he's going to get all the traction. Newsflash elevation, every video you've put on Patreon has been about Joe. Damn near every video. And then damn near every video you put on YouTube has been about Joe. So how the fuck are you going to get mad at Mark for speaking on a show he's actually on? But when it comes to this credential shit, once again, Anton's going to call out Mark for what he's doing on social media because, let's be clear, Mark doesn't get views like Anton gets views. Mark and I views are comparable on Patreon and YouTube, and who the fuck am I? So Anton's going to shoot at Mark that way, but Mark's going to shoot at Anton in a plethora of ways, to where it's going to have to, or to where Anton's going to have to start pulling out receipts of the things that he's done outside of social media. This is about to get ugly, guys. And it's funny because Anton had nothing to do with this. But if you're looking at this from a content creator's perspective, Anton did exactly what you're supposed to do. I am a big enough platform, and I know I have a big enough platform because y'all are speaking on my platform. So what? I had an hour and a half plus long interview. Brian McKnight said a minute and a half worth of things pertaining to you, and y'all are speaking on us on your huge platform. And then you gotta be careful. I'm glad that Anton actually respects Joe because he might start shooting at Joe too. Like, nigga, I'm comparable to you in every facet. My YouTube video views are the same as your YouTube video views. And although you have 70,000 members on Patreon, I got 19,000 plus. And my tiers are higher than yours. And we talk about finances on Patreon. So I'm absolutely making more on Patreon than you think I am. I'm comparable to you too. Once again, Anton respects Joe, so I'm curious to see if they debate, because as much shit as Mark Lamont Hill talks, there was a reason he missed the interview with Dr. Umar. There's a reason for that. And that was early in Mark's tenure on the JVP. So as much as I want to see this debate or altercation happen, because it is going to happen, I don't know if Mark shows up. And then if that happens, Anton's going to have a field day. But y'all let me know what y'all think of this whole situation in the comments, man. Like the video if you like the video, subscribe to the page if you haven't. If you have, you already know.
Opioid addiction gets between you and what you love. Once monthly Sublocade may help you.
What if I told you that one man built a $500 million empire by turning fatherhood into a weapon? That he kissed his son on national television while simultaneously stealing millions from him? That when this same son finally stood up for himself, this so-called father tried to have him murdered on a Georgia highway? This ain't no fairy tale, gang. This is the real story of how Birdman, a bald-headed mogul from New Orleans, perfected the art of psychological warfare in the music industry. We're talking about a dude who literally weaponized the father-son relationship to finesse some of hip-hop's biggest stars out of hundreds of millions of dollars. But here's the crazy part. He's still doing it right now. While you're watching this video, NBA Youngboy, one of the hottest rappers on the planet, might be walking straight into the same trap that destroyed Lil Wayne's relationship with the man who raised him. The same manipulation tactics, the same psychological games, the same systematic theft. It's all happening again because this industry refuses to learn. Y'all think this is just about business? Now, fam, this is about a man who turned trauma into profit, who built mansions with stolen dreams, and who's been getting away with it for over 30 years. Every diamond in his grill represents an artist he finessed. Every car in his garage was bought with money that belonged to someone else. So if you want to understand how one of hip-hop's most celebrated moguls is actually one of its most dangerous predators, if you want to see the receipts on how he scammed Lil Wayne out of $51 million and tried to kill him when he fought back, and if you want to know why NBA Youngboy millions finessing rappers, trust me, the truth is way darker than you think. To understand how Birdman became hip-hop's most notorious finesse artist, you need to understand where he came from, because his origin story reads like a blueprint for creating a sociopath. Born Brian Brooks in 1969 in New Orleans, this man literally didn't have a name for the first month of his life. His mother Gladys just called him Baby, a nickname that would stick forever, not just because he kept saying it, but because even today, he still looks like a baby that's been left alone with a Sharpie and a tattoo gun. But Baby's story starts in tragedy that would shape everything he became. When he was just 5 years old, his mother Gladys Brooks died under circumstances that remain murky to this day. Some say it was complications from illness, others whisper she was shot. What we know for certain is that Baby and his siblings became lords of the state because their father, John
versus
Williams,
Pelicans.
hadn't even bothered to sign their birth
Looks
certificates.
like,
Think about that for a second. Your mother died.
most of the side,
You're
no,
5
I'm
years
saying.
old. And
Oh, the
suddenly
Hawks
you're property
won,
of the state
so
because your
let's clear
father
that up.
couldn't be bothered with paperwork. They were shipped off to foster care, then to their uncle in freezing Prince George, Canada. Imagine going from the heat of New Orleans to the frozen wasteland of British Columbia as a traumatized 5-year-old. This early abandonment created something broken in Baby that would never heal. The desperate need for family, the fear of abandonment, the understanding that people you love can disappear without warning. These psychological wounds would become the foundation of his entire business model. Every artist he would later manipulate, every father-son relationship he would weaponize, it all traces back to that 5-year-old boy who lost everything and learned that survival meant controlling everyone around you. When Johnny Williams finally fought to get custody of his kids, he brought them back to New Orleans and moved them to Valence Street in the 13th Ward. This was a middle-class black neighborhood with manicured lawns and Catholic schools, a far cry from the projects, but still deep in the heart of a city that was rapidly becoming one of America's murder capitals. Johnny Williams wasn't just Baby's father. He was his first teacher in the art of hustling. This man was a legend in his own right, with over 25 kids scattered across New Orleans and his fingers in every hustle imaginable. He ran restaurants, bars, laundromats, and was deep in the numbers game. Johnny was what they called a neighborhood celebrity. Everyone knew him, especially the ladies, which explains how he ended up with so many kids. But Johnny's real genius was in teaching his sons the fundamentals of business, even if that business wasn't always legal. Baby and his brothers would ride around with Johnny as he checked on his various operations, soaking up knowledge about cash flow, territory control, and most importantly, how to read people and exploit their weaknesses. The real game changer came when Johnny's new girlfriend Patricia moved in with her son Eldridge Wise from the Magnolia Projects. Now the Magnolia was a whole different world from the 13th Ward.
Get the Freddy Fazbear Crunch menu, only at Popeyes, before it gets you. Love that chicken from Popeyes. Disney Plus, Hulu, and HBO Max, together for $19.99 a month.
We should find this girl.
Actually, what happened? The ultimate bundle for an unbelievable price.
You're a bum now, motherfucker. Yeah.
Wake up, so looked up and be his case. All I need is a beat. I can say anything, but I'm still gonna slide.